Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ehi Ademabo from CTV News, and today I have a wonderful person with me here today. As you know, next week from May 3rd to May 9th is the annual Mental Health Week presented by CMH. Now, this year's focus is on understanding our emotions. Now, but for most people, mental health is still a struggle in this country. Studies show, though, that 1 in 5 Canadians experiences mental health every single day or mental health issue every year. The question is, why do so many people suffer from mental health issues, and what can Canadians do to protect and maintain good mental health? Well, we're in good company this morning. I'm here with Tiffanie Carr. Tiffanie is Canada's health and wellness coach, and she will be providing tips to us today on what we can do for good mental health. Welcome, Tiffanie. I'm so happy to have you. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Wonderful. Now, Tiffany, let's just get started off by asking you, what can we do to achieve good mental health in our lives?
All right. So I want to use an analogy. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Go for it.
Okay. So imagine our mental health is this clear glass of water. It's clear. It looks delicious, and you just want to drink it. But here, what happens? Okay. So we're going to be using this analogy. So this idea of this glass of water as our mental health. Over time, however, let's say we keep adding droplets, and each droplet is an emotion. Now, what if these emotions are really heavy? That means there's more droplets that go in. So imagine we're feeling emotions such as anger, frustration, stress, worry, and those emotions are just adding on. And eventually, with all those emotions, our glass can overflow. Now, imagine if we neglect those emotions, which that's what happens to a lot of us. We just kind of ignore these emotions. And in terms of our glass of water, which represents our mind, eventually, like it's just the water goes rancid. It's not good anymore. It even changes color with the algae and the bacteria. And that's what I'm here to tell you guys. We do not want to ignore our emotions. We want to make sure that we keep this like harmonious place. We keep our mental health healthy. How do we do that? Well, it's time for us to start just paying attention. And that's what ChemH's theme next week is all about, understanding our emotions. So when you have an emotion come up, for most of our lives, a lot of us would just like ignore it or, place it, push it under the rug, but we don't want to do that anymore. We want to start acknowledging these emotions. And the more we do that, the more we're going to feel better about ourselves. So one really great tip that I have for all your viewers today, Ehi, is to start journaling. Journaling is a great way. It's a great outlet to release those emotions. And that's what it's all about, finding outlets where you can release those emotions. Personally, I love journaling, or some people, for them, it's like having a diary, but whatever it is for you, it's just, if you have a lot of heavy emotions, you just start putting your pen to paper and then you just start writing freely. Another way to call this is doing a brain dump. When you've got too much going on, during this pandemic, a lot of us are living these crazy times, and sometimes we have a lot going on. So again, pen to paper and doing a brain dump or whatever's going on is a beautiful way to release and helping us just stay sane and maintain this like harmonious place in our minds. And if we're turning to our glass of water, making sure that our glass stays crystal clear and just delicious and yummy.
I love it. I love it. Now, Tiffany, you touched a little bit on emotions. So I want to ask you, what role would you imagine that emotions play in promoting mental health?
Okay, I like that question a lot because, to be a human being is to have emotions. Emotions are just part of like having like relationships with people, just living and being happy. And there's no bad emotions. And that's a really important point here. There's no bad emotions. But here's the thing. In one day, we can be experiencing so many emotions. We're not just happy all day, right? We go through happiness, we go through like anger, frustration, but then we go back to being happy and so on and so forth. And the goal is to recognize these emotions and put them into words. So remember, I was just talking about how most of us, we have these emotions and it's just over time, it's just easy to ignore them. Well, what I want us to start doing is if there's a hurtful experience. So let's say you have a really great friend and she said something, she did something that hurt your feelings. I used to be one of those people that would just like keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
But guess what? Who's hurting the most when you do that? When you don't express yourself and you keep it in? It's yourself. It is absolutely yourself. So it is time for us to stop, like, not talking about how we feel, and express ourselves. Express ourselves. And I don't think it's going to hurt your friendship or hurt anything. If anything, talking about something with your friend who just hurt you will, I feel, make your relationship stronger, make you feel more confident. And expressing yourself and expression is so powerful. Can you imagine how our world would be in such a better place if we all did that? Express ourselves and tell, like, if something happens, express it right away instead of like keeping it all bottled in.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that would be our goal here, everyone.
Wow, wow, wow. I love that. I love, like, no, Tiffanie, the last and final question I have for you today is, what are some easy, practical, and simple ways that we can look after our mental health?
All right. I love the acronym KISS, which is keep it super simple. And I'm really big on acronyms too, because acronyms keep things simple. So I have a lot of clients, and during this pandemic, it's just been really hard for them to navigate everything that's happening around them. So one acronym that I created was REST, REST, REST. And it's a philosophy that I want everyone, and I hope that all of you can benefit from. So let's just go for the first letter R. R from rest means release. We were just talking a moment before how it's important to, if there's like you're feeling emotion, something happened, you need to talk about it. That's one way of releasing it. And then just before, we're talking about journaling. Again, another outlet to release. The more we recognize these emotions and then being able to release them, especially those heavy emotions like anger and worry and so on and so forth, the better it's going to be for our own mental health, our own just feeling better about ourselves. Okay. The next one right after R is E for exercise. Another great outlet to release, release, release. So there's maybe some of your viewers heard motion creates emotion, but motion also creates energy. Motion, like just movement. And exercise, I actually like to call exercise as movement, because that's what it's all about. And it doesn't have to be long. It's just, if you've been sitting at your computer all day and then you're bombarded with emails, and some of these emails are making you angry and frustrated, just take a moment, push your computer away or move away from your desk, stand up, shake it off, add some music, dance, do some jumping jacks, but just move your body. And I promise you, you're just releasing by just doing that simple action. So movement, exercise is a big one. Right after exercise is S for sleep. Friends, sleep is the most important thing. When all of us get good quality sleep, what happens the next day? Ehi, how do you feel the next day? Do you feel like
Good.
refreshed?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You feel good. So that's what I want for all of us. When we have that quality sleep and we don't bring our computer or phones into bed, and we don't listen to the news before going to bed, all that like hinders our sleep, versus if we have a good sleep hygiene 1 hour before going to bed, we take care of ourselves, we make sure that we're minded to have a good sleep, we tell ourselves, okay, we're gonna have a great sleep tonight, or you journal before you go to bed, release. I promise you the next day you'll show up better, and the more you do that consistently, you are going to feel better in your life. So good sleep helps with good mental health. And last but not least, T for talk. Guys, we're just talking, we're talking. I just mentioned just before how you need to start acknowledging these emotions and not let them just sit inside and rot. We need to talk. And this is also really important for some of you who are experiencing really like low emotions. So if you're feeling depressed, or worse, if you're feeling like you have those suicidal thoughts, don't hold it in. Go and seek help. CMHA has a lot of resources. There's a lot of resources online. Talk to your friends, to your family, but it's so important to talk about it.
Wow, 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 Tiffanie, we love the acronym REST, and we love having you around here. You're welcome back anytime. So thank you so much for providing value to our audience today. We appreciate you, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much for having me as well. Thank you, Ehi, and thank you everyone for watching.
Have a good one. Stay tuned.
Thank you. Bye.